Hello and welcome to Mystical Wisdom again. In my last Mystical Wisdom video and blog, I introduced you to Pythagoras, and I want to lead off a little bit from there in this current video and the blog that goes with it by extending the story and the information that we get from that ancient tradition, which relates to number, it relates to music, and obviously astronomy and astrology and all those things that we actually associate with Pythagoras through our school lessons in geometry. Those inspirations that those ancients had were telling us something about the nature of the cosmos. Pythagoras, it seems, was the first person to use the word cosmos, which is a word that's intended to tell us that what is going on is not chaos, but it is orderly, and that we can understand the order of things by finding out about number, finding out about measurements, and those bits of information are not always necessarily by measuring and numbering stuff outside ourselves, but as a kind of psychological or spiritual process inwardly. So what happens when you start putting all these bits together is you start realizing there's a whole package of wisdom teaching where some of these apparently disparate systems are all overlapping because they're all coming from the same understanding about the nature of the cosmos and how the patterns of the cosmos, which are so vast and seemingly unintelligible to us, are actually some extraordinary, beautiful and majestic patterning, systemized, intelligent process. It's like a great and vast work of art, and you can look at one little tiny bit of it and see how the whole works. That's the microcosm and the macrocosm. And as Blake puts it, you can take a grain of sand and see the whole universe in it, the whole of heaven in it. And the Pythagorean tradition was about getting that wisdom from inside, not from outside. And so you can visit Mars without building some kind of truck that's going to be projected through, I don't know. Anyway, I won't go on about the Mars visit right now. But knowing that from the inside is crucial. And of course, the yogis also told us the very same thing, that you know the stars and the planets, you know them when you meditate and you ask to know. And that knowledge will come to you. It will come to you during your meditation or during dreams. And the whole process is so beautiful and delightful that when you go out into the world every day, you feel that you are part of that beauty. You feel engaged with it. And in some senses, you can understand that you will never walk alone, as they say in the song. You are never alone because you are with the universe. The universe is in you, with you. You are part of it. It is a holistic system, and you can take delight in being with it and being present to it completely. So I do hope that you read the blog, because there's a lot more detail and much more unfolding of what I want to share with you on this topic. But the main point of the blog is to encourage you to see and understand all those things that you are interested in, but I presume you're interested in them because you're following my blogs. All those things are interconnected, and there's no separation between numerology, astrology, reading the tarot, or any other form of divination for that matter. And there's a richness to these traditions that kind of been lost in a way because some of it has been pushed to one side, in the educational system, and we don't get the full juice of the possibility of the tradition that has come through Western culture. There are points during Western culture when bits have been chopped off the tree of wisdom, if you like. They've taken a few branches off here and there and told us to concentrate on certain bits and not the whole bit. And this has been a story for a very long time, and I feel it might be just changing, right? And it's changing because so many people realise that what Western culture has been offering them and has been doing, especially over the last, say, 5 decades or so, is absolutely disastrous. And that potential human catastrophe could have been something different if people had managed to maintain the understanding and the wisdom that we were given all those thousands of years ago, which has kind of got lost. Some of it was deliberately destroyed, like the Great Library of Alexandria, which was burnt, and so much wisdom was there. And then the Christian church came along and suppressed various texts which carried the wisdom. People had to hide them. And gradually some of those turned up again. Perhaps in the Italian Renaissance, we see how the Hermetic texts turn up and how the Jewish mystics started to share their Kabbalah with the Christians. So gradually, some of this ancient wisdom has filtered through and it's rising up. And it's your birthright. You're entitled to it. Don't be afraid to step up and say, yes, I want to claim this. I want to claim my capacity to know something, to be what was called a Gnostic, to know for myself, not because somebody else has told me, not because some religious group has given you a list of things you should do and shouldn't do, but you know from the inside because you are connected to your daimon, to your guiding genius, your soul's messenger, your soul's angel. So go to the website, read the blog, and I shall be back before long. Many blessings. Don't forget to keep shining.